Oh boy, Friday Night Funkin' Trepidation. This certainly is a mod that I feel personally mixed on. This mod got popular for three key reasons. One is its source material. Creepypastas are something that a lot of people really like, myself included. There's a good amount of nostalgia here for me, especially with Jeff the Killer and Slender Man being two of the most iconic creepypastas ever made. And hey, Pokemon creepypasta? Sure, I'll take it. And there's a lot more potential later down the line. Another thing that this mod got very popular for is its art style. I mean, yeah, that makes perfect sense. This art style is actually really good and mimics a creepy feeling really well. Honestly, this mod has a genuinely more disturbing art style than Hypno's Lullaby did, which I can respect it for a lot. And the third reason that this mod is so loved is because of Girlfriend. Okay, I'm mostly kidding. The soundtrack, however, is not something that the community loved, myself included. For as much as I can respect what this mod is going for, its soundtrack is very weak in the overall grand scheme of soundtracks. There are some songs here that are really good, but then the lowlights of this mod are really low. Like, it's kind of frustrating how bad some of these songs are. And today I'm gonna rank all of these songs. There is not one song that is being left out from this mod. So no more stalling. Let's go ahead and get into the bad stuff so that way we can get into the good stuff. First up is a song called Slender. One of Slender Man's songs. Oh, this song is so bad. It's actually horrible. There is nothing I can say positive about this song. Slender Man's vocals in this song especially sound horrendous. Which is odd because in the other two songs they're really not as bad. Boyfriend does not sound good at all. The instrumental is boring. The overall vocals feel out of tune. It feels like the vocals are a step behind the instrumental, so it doesn't feel like it lines up very well. The pacing of this song doesn't make sense, and none of the melodies work. This is just a horrible song. Just genuinely bad. It feels like they were just rushing out a song because you gotta have 3 songs for Slender Man. They had 2 and they didn't know what else to make, so they just rushed this out.
How can you be sleepy if you don't know how to have dreams?
Dreams. Okay. This is another one of those songs where I have little to nothing to praise. The instrumental is just boring. The chromatic here is also boring. The pacing, you know what? Yeah, boring. That is how I would describe pretty much the entirety of this song. Any part that sounds like it might be kinda good just builds up to absolutely nothing. I don't know. The only good thing about this song, I guess, is the sprite work for the Dreams guy, which, I don't know, cool reference, I guess, but like, that's it, that's all I got. I hate it. It's boring. This is just straight up boring. This is sleep material. This is a song I could put on in the background and I would fall asleep because it is that boring. I feel like I'm actually about to yawn just re-listening to this. That was not intent. What? I'm legit getting tired to listen. Okay, well, I think that spoke louder than anything else I can say. Moving right along. And now we have Endless Sleep. Oh, this song sucks. The instrumental feels flat and lifeless. Jeff's vocals, which I can honestly praise for other songs, sound really bad here. They sound scratchy and like nails on a chalkboard. And Boyfriend sounds especially awful in this song. I don't know what they did to his vocals, but it sounds choppy and the pacing is bad. The ending doesn't work for me. Nothing about this song works. Like, nothing. There is one part that kind of sounds a little neat, and that's only because Jeff sounds like he's sort of screaming, and then it finally slows down, and Jeff's vocals return to at least a decent chromatic, I guess. I mean, even then, it doesn't sound great. I just don't. What was the point of this song? This song could have been cut, and I don't feel like anyone would have missed it. I feel like this is the song that ended up ruining Jeff's overall reputation for FNF. Because I think his vocals sound really good in the first and second song. However, they fall apart in this and the last song, which I'll get to later. That ended up becoming Jeff's main notoriety for having bad vocals, specifically because this song ruined his vocals.
Their heads found severed from their bodies.
This song, No Head Red, is not nearly as boring as Dreams, and yet it's still one of the most boring FNF songs I've heard in a long time. Gold's chromatic, although I could get into it later, might as well just talk about it now. His chromatic sounds very muffled and just doesn't flow well. I mean, this technically goes for basically all of Gold's songs, but like, it's especially weak here. Then there's Red himself, which, why does he have a chromatic? This dude is headless. Why has he got a normal chromatic, like, a generic chromatic that you could apply to any just normal dude and it would probably work? Like, oh, okay, whatever, fine. The pacing of this song feels way too long. Seriously, this is one of the longer songs in the mod, and it's too long. There's one good duet part near the beginning, which I guess is kinda decent. I mean, like, after the duet is over, that's it. The rest of the song doesn't really have any impact. Art style-wise, this is also one of the weaker songs. I praised this mod's art earlier, yeah, but I will be the first to admit that the art style specifically in Gold's week, and this song as well, is pretty weak. It's not awful, but it's also eh. And then comes the neat part of the song, kind of, where Pikachu and Celebi, I'm probably saying that wrong again, I don't know how to pronounce Pokemon names very well. First of all, Pikachu does not fit in with this art style at all. He literally looks like he's been cropped in PNG style, and it's so distracting. Celebi looks alright, I guess. I mean, there's really not much to say. I almost didn't even notice that Celebi was there the first time. And chromatic-wise, Celebi sounds fine. Pikachu sounds very much not like what you would expect a Pikachu chromatic to sound like. And melody-wise, nothing special is happening, and then both of them just disappear. Well, that felt like a waste of time. You know what, this whole song feels like a waste of time. What am I talking about?
This is a nightmare that you won't wake from.
Endless Nightmare. Okay, let me give this song its credit first. Because visually, I absolutely love this song. I love how the fire casts all the shadows, and Jeff is just straight nightmare fuel. I think he looks great in this specific song. Well, I mean, he's alright. However, pacing of the song. I mean, after all, it's a rhythm game, so the music should be the focus, right? I mean, I guess there's some decent parts. And the pacing isn't horrible, and there are some alright melodies here. But let me get into my biggest issue with this song in particular. These vocals are insanely quiet. Like, they're hard to make it out at most points of the song, especially given how loud the instrumental can be. Which is very unfortunate. That's like the #1 complaint people have with this song in particular, is how quiet the vocals are. Maybe if they were a little bit louder, the song could have been better, but I don't know, even then, Jeff's vocals don't exactly fit this song, regardless of how loud they are. There are several points where it just sounds off. However, this song is getting carried by one part in particular. Once everything goes dark, there's a little moment where we get to see a more human Jeff. This part of the song, unironically, is kind of a bop. I actually like this part, legitimately. This is the saving grace for this one song. Because if this part wasn't here, I would probably hate Endless Nightmare so much more. But it's being saved by this one bit, which sadly doesn't even last that long, and then we're right back to the fiery, annoying bit. I mean, I guess the ending bit doesn't sound as bad as the more middle part of the song. It's still really weak, but it's not as weak, I guess. The potential for the song is there, but the execution fell straight on its face and then tumbled down the mountain and was never seen again.
How long is this going to take?
Tall figure. Well, I guess this isn't a horrible song. I mean, it's pretty slow, monotone, boring. The instrumental doesn't really go anywhere. And there is no reason for this song to take as long as it does to get properly started. Especially given the ending is like a good 18 or so seconds of just silent rain. Like, great. Just make me wait for the next song, why don't you? Boyfriend doesn't sound horrible here. And again, even though the instrumental is kind of just alright, I guess it's decent. Slenderman's vocals do not sound nearly as atrocious as they do in Slender. In fact, there's actually a decent part in his vocals, and I kind of like how deep they can get, and it sounds alright. I don't feel like this song is very fitting for Slender Man, given how it feels kind of like a lo-fi song, even though this guy is supposed to be intimidating and creepy, and this just feels like something you could vibe to. It's a bit off. But you know what? I will take any form of decency I can get from this OST, given how, well, as I've said, bad the rest of the songs have been.
Slenderman, Slenderman, all the children try to run.
Oh, you thought I was done with Slender Man? Nope, we got one more Slendy song. Well, actually, I guess technically two more Slender Man songs. Well, let's cover Sight for right now. This is the final song for Slender Man's week. And hey, he's got his two little henchmen, Masky and Hoodie, who I know practically nothing about. I only know Slender Man on a surface level. Give me a break. This song is easily the best of the three main Slender Man songs, and yet it's still not that great. Slender Man's vocals are fine, I guess. Boyfriend sounds fine. The instrumental is decent. This song definitely feels slow, though. even though it's the fastest of his 3 songs, this one just has a lot of emptiness at several points. It's just kind of gives me this feeling of hurry up, we know what's coming, just get on with it. And I'll admit, the ending's kind of neat with the art style change, that's cool. But otherwise, I've got basically nothing to say about this song. It's very simplistic and basic. Not an awful song, but I feel like there's very little here. However, one thing that definitely saved this song for me was its ending, with the bells playing as a rendition of Slender Man's main theme, which is kind of cool actually. Overall, this song is pretty generic and doesn't really leave that much impact. In fact, the entirety of Slender Man's week is just really weak. I'm sorry, that was a horrible pun. Champion Battle! This could have been one of the coolest songs in the mod, and instead feels like one of the most underwhelming. Gold and Boyfriend sound very compressed in the song, leaving their vocals not great. Not horrible, but not very good either. The instrumental is decent, and the melodies are actually kind of strong. I like the amount of Pokemon melodies that I'm able to actually pick up, like I can tell that several of these themes are lifted from the Pokemon games. That's cool. And it makes this song stand out. And yes, in a good way. However, what I don't like is this ending. Gold just switching to this more mutilated part of himself. Visually, it's not awful, but oh my gosh, the music. It feels like someone just took a hammer and just hit the whole song with it. And now nothing sounds right. I get that that's probably intentional, but it does not sound good.
Yo, what's up? I'm Eminem, and you're right.
Epic rap battles of history is where we go from songs that have problems and songs that are just generally horrible to actually a decent song, surprisingly enough. First of all, concept is actually kind of funny. The instrumental is very fitting, and both sets of chromatics are, they're good. Eminem, he sounds actually decent in this song, surprisingly enough, and Slender Man sounds better here than he does in his main 3 songs. That's actually crazy to me. Why does Slender Man legitimately sound significantly better in this song than he does in his previous 3? That's... wow, okay, that's just sad. It's pretty plain, as FNF songs would go, but you know what? For what it's going for, it's alright.
He's nervous. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous. And he's nervous.
Uncertain Demise. This one isn't necessarily bad. Its instrumental is overall pretty one note, as most of the instrumentals in this mod are actually pretty one note. And the chromatic for Boyfriend sounds really good in this song in particular, and Gold sounds decent. The melody actually has its moments where it really can shine. That being said, I do still have some problems with the song. For one, I hate this sound effect that's used for the overall mechanic. It's so loud and distracting. And usually I don't let that bother me because I'm listening to the OST version rather than the version heard in-game. But even then, there are still some problems. I feel like the song stops and starts way too much. It ends up making the song feel way slower than it realistically is. Especially the ending with the most unnecessary and underwhelming fake out that this song could have had. And you know how I just said that it's not realistically that slow? It is still a longer song, and that fake out only makes it feel way longer. The song shouldn't have had it. It should have just ended when it seemed like it was gonna end. That would have done the song better than this stupid fake out. I hate this fake out. It is genuinely the worst part about this song. Which sucks because the rest of it isn't bad. There's some really nice Pokemon melodies that I can hear, and it's like, yeah, cool. That sounds like Pokemon. I like it. Beyond Death is just an overall sad song, and I respect it for that. Creepypastas have always been a bit bittersweet to me personally, because although yes, these are horrifying stories a lot of the time, or at least they're trying to be, there's a sense of tragedy among a good deal of them, especially Gold. He's just a boy at the end of the day, and horrible things happen to him and he's stuck as this monster. It's a pretty common theme, actually, for tragedy to be at the center of many of these creepypastas. And I think Beyond Death really summarizes a lot of that tragedy in just one song. It's a bit short, and I wish it was a little longer, but I still have to respect it for being very simple and executed really well. I especially love this instrumental. It's very soft and calm. It really does convey a final goodbye. An end to a horrible fate. Like there may be some peace at the end of it all. You know, when you have a mod that is so full of songs that are just not great, the slower songs end up getting more spotlight time in the community. Lullaby is kind of one of the fan favorites when it comes to this mod, and I totally get why. The instrumental is very chill, simple, but it works perfectly for what it's going for. And the vocals are clean. Jeff sounds great in this song. This is probably the best he sounds in any of his songs. I love it. And I love how the art style looks for this song. It's not trying to be gory, it's very simple. Jeff canonically in this mod is actually Girlfriend's babysitter, hence why he's here. And I just love how Girlfriend looks in this little song. She's adorable. She's cute. Jeff looks, fine. I actually like that they kept the mask on him. I feel like having his big, giant, wide smile would have probably ruined it. And if they tried to make him look less smiley, if you will, it just would have looked off. But keeping the mask on allows you to visualize what he's really thinking. Kind of gives more creative freedom on the art style part. The Sweet Dreams Are Made of These melody is playing throughout the song, and I think it works really well. Overall, this song is great. Sure, it's a bit on the slow side, but honestly, I don't mind that. Again, FNF fans tend to sleep on these slower songs because, kids can't keep the attention span to the slower stuff. They only want to listen to the loudest vocals and the craziest instrumentals. Whatever. I'll just sit with the mature audience. and listen to this one and appreciate it for everything that it's got going for it.
Couldn't help but notice you're trespassing on my land.
Trespasser is legitimately a bop, though. I love how the very beginning of the instrumental thinks it's going to give you this kind of industrial theme, and then it just takes a complete 180 about like 3 seconds in and gives you this more of a vibe type of song. That's cool. This instrumental is actually really nice. It's a bit one note, but I don't mind it because it never at any point sounds intrusive or bad. And Masky and Hoodie, they look alright. I don't really know much about these characters. I just know that they're associated with Slender Man, and that's basically it. They have very nice vocals, actually. Their chromatics sound good. Some people said that they're a bit quiet, and it's like, yeah, I could see what you mean, but also this instrumental isn't too loud, so the vocals do get to shine. They don't sound that quiet, at least to me. And they're distinct enough to the point where you can separate who is who, which is nice. This overall is just a really nice song. There's plenty of slow parts that manage to just chill the beat for a moment. The vocals sound good, pacing's really nice. It's a bit of a longer song, which is actually good for this one because, yeah, no, if there was any song in this mod to be longer, I'm glad it's this one. Because there is not really any part of this song that I dislike. It's all good. I really don't have any problems with it. It's just a legitimately good song.
Your soul is mine.
Lost Soul is what Uncertain Demise should have been. They're two distinct songs, sure, but this one is infinitely better than Uncertain Demise. There's no unnecessary fake out, and the pacing of the song works so much better for me. There's not as many recognizable Pokemon melodies, but I don't care because this song is kind of a bop. The instrumental is really well done here. I actually really like it. And Boyfriend just pops off throughout this whole song. I'm glad that, in terms of Gold's Week at least, Boyfriend gets some spotlight in his own vocals because he sounds great in both this and Uncertain Demise, even though I don't really like Uncertain Demise that much. At least he sounds good. And that especially applies to this song, because he's just killing it. And I actually like how Gold sounds. I don't love his chromatic of how muffled it is, but I'll admit it, he sounds good in this song. Again, pacing's great, instrumental's great. What? Like, this is unironically a legit good song. This is good. This right here is really good. Although that being said, the stupid mechanic with the loud sound is also there. Like, come on. It's the one bad thing. But I'll just listen to the OST version, that's better. You know, FNF mods have this habit. Either the first song is going to be something underwhelming, or it's alright but it gets outshined, or it's just plain bad. Or it's the complete opposite end of the spectrum, and it's one of the best in the entire mod. And that very well applies to this song. Sweet dreams are made of screams, except everybody shortens it to Sadamos. I don't know how to say that, so I'm just going to call it Sweet Dreams. This song is really good. It gives us the first look at the art style, which, again, great. Jeff's vocals sound amazing in this song, and the overall melody with that whole Sweet Dreams are made of these, hence the name of the song, is really nice. If you don't know, there was this horror take on the song that was called Sweet Dreams Are Made of Screams. And no, it's not this FNF song, it's actually a different song, and it's been associated with Jeff and become pretty much his main theme. Hence why this entire first song is practically a remix or a retake or whatever you want to call it of that original theme. And their duet sounds really good near the end. Overall, this is a great first song. It's actually kind of sad how this and the second song are some of the best in the mod, and it gives you this impression of, oh wow, this mod's gonna have some of the best songs in FNF. And then pretty much everything past it, save for a few exceptions, is pretty bad. But you know what? I love this song. Being completely honest, I spent a long time trying to decide between this song and my number one, which one was better, because they were on pretty equal footing. But the thing that ended up weakening this song a bit for me in the long run was that some of the parts of the song, Jeff does not sound great. His vocals get a kind of weak, and there are parts where he just sounds either quiet or pretty rough around the edges, which is why this song ended up getting a few points lost. Sleeping Tragedies is easily my favorite song from this mod. It sounds great. Jeff's vocals are clean throughout this song. They are great. Boyfriend sounds awesome throughout this whole song. The instrumental is a genuine bop pretty much the whole way through. The pacing is great. The slower parts are nice and intense, fitting of a creepypasta character like Jeff. There isn't any part that feels like it's just spamming notes trying to be edgy, I guess. Like some other songs. And my sleep. But like, this is the best one. This wasn't even a contest. The moment I realized, oh, I'm definitely gonna have to rank Trepidation at some point, this song immediately was the one that I was like, yeah, no, this right here, this is the king of the mod, for sure, without a doubt in my mind. That is how much I absolutely love this song. My primary reason for why I love this song so much is because of its instrumental. It is popping off the whole way through. But not only is it instrumental really good, as I said, Jeff's vocals are really strong. Like, it upsets me to see people dismiss Jeff's vocals as always bad, when in his first two songs, they are really good. Sure, they are absolute dog water in his third song, and Endless Nightmare is really rough on poor Jeff's vocals, besides the one good part. It's honestly really sad that this mod ended up getting canceled out and no further updates were given, because this song shows that there was an enormous amount of potential for this mod. This overall mod has so much potential. And I feel if just a good FNF team can get together, they could probably fix up this mod, make a whole new version of it that could be infinitely better than what we have now. It just goes to show that even a really bad or rough mod has its moments. Even this mod has some legitimately good songs. You just gotta sort through all the bad stuff first. that's it. That's Friday Night Funkin' Trepidation. This mod has some real weak points, but it's also got its highlights. It's a shame. But you know what? I do love a lot of what this mod has. Its art style pretty much consistently is really good, with a few negative exceptions. And the best of this mod's soundtrack is really strong. And here's my tier list. Yeah, I know it's more negative, but I don't feel like anybody is going to be surprised at that. Now that I've ranked this mod, though, I will finally be getting into versus FNF 3 next time, which is gonna be a bit of a rough one. Full disclosure, versus FNF 3 is similar to Trepidation in that there's some pretty meh stuff in it. But that mod also has a lot of good stuff in it. I'm not gonna spoil too much. I'll just let you guys sit and wait. In the meantime, God bless you all. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you enjoyed the video. The more subscribers this channel gets, the more motivated I feel to get more videos out. And I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya!